Hey there, welcome back to another Inside Gazealous Studio. This is part 2 of my Com Voce burlesque feather fan dance. And this week I'm going to talk about the process of making this whole costume come to life. So I talked a bit about the feather fan process in the first video, the inspiration video, and I showed some of the pictures of some of the costumes that I was inspired to bring into this creation. So in the last video, I discussed that I wanted to pull from the red fans principle, the feather fan strips, and I wanted to have a bra. I don't know why I actually wanted to have a bra, because that would just made my life harder, but I guess I just wanted to be part of the burlesque scene and take a bra off and not have pasties. It was part of the creation of the act, is each part had to be removed at some point. So I started with the bra and the G-string, and since I originally made them, I've added and kind of adjusted to them, but this originally was just the bands without a lining. My pasties poked through, so I added the lining later, even after I stopped performing the act. I think so that I could do like corporate parties and stuff. Who wouldn't want a showgirl walking around, right? So the bra and the G were made from fold-over elastic, and it was tea. I think I dyed it with tea or maybe red something, and it was like white. Dyed it a lighter skin, or a lighter nude color, and then I fit it on my form, and I just pinned all of the pieces in place to try to get that bra shape. And then the G-string, which later became a showgirl G, because the problem with the original G-string I created was that while it was extra stretchy, it cut into my muffin top, which I don't have much of one, but I didn't feel sexy. I didn't feel good about wearing this costume. So I changed it to a shoji, and it fit better after that, because the one that I had created was real low cut. And I wanted the high cut one to make my legs look longer. So that's why I turned into a shoji. Basically, I took the base of my shoji and I sewed the G-string to the G-string lining, the shoji lining. So the showgirl G-string has a hook on the side and a snap, and that's how it stays on. And it's all elasticized, but it's made with usually like a cotton or a duck fabric. And I also made matching pasties. So again, the light amethyst AB, gorgeous, gorgeous rhinestones. And of course, couldn't find them anywhere. Finally found a website that had some, and I'll talk about that purchase. I ended up buying like 10 packs in all the sizes I could find. And now that I think they're sold out. And these are size 30S's, the large ones. That's it's the largest I could find. They didn't make 34 or 40S SS, which is what I prefer to use for the body chain. But I also made feather strips. Now, the principal red fans G-string in Jubilee, the strips were sewn on to the actual G-string, which I will probably end up doing at some point, and it will just marry these pieces together and remove this little piece. But the strips was an interesting challenge. I had never made feather strips before, and I had to consult my friend Marius, who was the head of the feather department at Jubilee. I had to consult him and be like, okay, well, how the heck do you make these? He's like, it's just a piece of fabric with a feather stuck to the end of it. And I'm like, yeah, but it moved. So the cool thing is I learned that they are weighted. So there's a little bit of a weight to help it move. And again, these were all hand beaded by me. And then I have the tiniest rhinestones on the side there. So yeah. And then of course the feather strips, that was another purchase, which feather boa, except let's see, what is this? I think it's their 6-ply. Again, from Fancy Feathers, since I already had the feather fans. This is a 6-ply boa, and I cut it into strips that are whatever. I cut 10, so I think each one was like 6 inches, which isn't quite long enough for the look, but I had that much money to buy the feather fans. So they were first, it was sewn, let's see, the beading was sewn onto a piece of mesh, and then the strips were made separately, and then the beaded strips were then attached to this piece, which is a fabric that I later used for another version of this costume, because this costume just kept on going and creating into two amazing costumes. So once I got the feather fans, I think I said this in the last video, I added the rhinestones on both sides of the tips, just 5 on each tip on both sides. So 10 times 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 staves, 120 rhinestones. Yeah. And then, because I just couldn't stop myself, I made some sparkly shoes. These are my amazing Steve Madden's. I bought 3 pairs of this shoe because I was like, oh, it's got the perfect line. What I didn't realize is that it was going to be like super stiff, and it's really hard to dance in these, even just to walk in them, because as a showgirl you walk like a cat. Your pad, you roll through your feet, and so it's really hard to walk in them gracefully and make it look good. But I had them rubbered as usual, new tip put on. I don't know exactly how many rhinestones it took, but it was a lot. And it was me and my love, and we made this little scatter pattern, and it's the same rhinestones, tiny, tiny, tiny ones. I use the tiny ones because I think I bought like 10 gross of those 12S. So yeah, those are the shoes. What else? Is that it? Oh, that's everything. That's all of the things. And that was the process of creating this costume and bringing it to the stage. Everything was constructed and then embellished, and that's kind of the process for everything. And I usually end up creating in the nude so that I can try a costume on right away instead of having to take my clothes off. So it's hard for me sometimes in the live stream because I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. I haven't made anything yet that needs to be tried on except hats, and that's, don't need to be naked for that one. So all silliness. If you have any questions about this process or want to see more, I think I've shared all the photos that I have available of the creation of this costume. But please just, put your comments below and I'll try to answer them the best I can. And next week I discuss the stats of this costume, how much it cost. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching today. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about me, you can head to my website. The link is in the description. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.